Okay, so do you have any advice for would-be comic artists?
Yeah, make comics. A lot of people that I sort of meet at conventions like this that are interested in getting into comics have gotten good at drawing and sort of like figured out how to put together professional looking stuff, but the actual nuts and bolts of putting together a page of comics, telling a story, that sort of thing, you really have to figure that out before you can, before you jump in. Just because you don't want to suck at it when you start, you know? I mean, everybody's gonna suck at it when they start, but you don't want to like get good enough. Like there are people at this show right now that I just be like, oh, you should hire this person to draw a comic book, but if they haven't done a page of comics before, then the actual like panel to panel what's happening can sort of get lost, and so it helps to have done like a few issues worth of stuff, you know, or just 50 pages worth of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Just start writing and drawing, or find somebody that can write some stuff for you and draw stuff, so that you have that sequential stuff figured out.
Of course.
First, you got to figure out how to draw whatever you're going to draw. Like if you want to do ponies, figure out how to draw ponies. I say for comics, you should learn how to draw everything because you never know.
Yeah.
You know, I did 2 issues of ponies, and then they were like, "Do you want to draw these equestria girls?" And you know, people argue whether or not I knew how to draw equestria girls, but I knew how to draw a person at that point.
Yeah.
So I could say, yeah, I could do that.
Was it a challenge trying to meet the style requirements of equestria girls, considering that they have quite stylized proportions, quite thin limbs and so on?
Yeah, for sure. It was a definite switch from, like, if it had been going from ponies to just drawing how I normally, like my basic, my regular style, that would have been easier. This was just like go from a style that you are learning to a different style based on that style.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit challenging. And then also just the basic, like, you went from drawing these ponies who live in like round, no straight lines type environments to equestria girls, like you need to use rulers more. They have, like lockers and cars and clothes, shoes, all this stuff's way more detailed than the ponies. They're just naked, hair.
So, do you have any advice on how to get yourself noticed after you've started drawing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Presumably a webcomic is one way to do it.
Right.
Are there any others?
As far as like if you want to get work doing it,
you
want to go to conventions where publishers are going to be, and meet them, talk to them, show them your stuff. A lot of times, like if you go to like a bigger convention, like a New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con, there will actually be portfolio reviews you can go up and do and meet the people and say like, here's my stuff, and they'll look at it, and if they're good, they'll want to get your information, and if it needs work, they'll tell you what sort of work you need to do. So I feel like that's sort of a valuable thing to do. But also, go to conventions and meet other aspiring people, so like maybe you draw better than you write, or you write better than you draw, and you want to find somebody to collaborate with, making somebody that draws well and writes well, like get a team together like that. They're going to have a better time putting together something that could rise to the top easier than, like if you just can draw pretty good but you can't write anything, like it's not going to, who's going to see it?
Of course. Okay, so we're going to round off now with just a couple of last minute questions. Okay, so firstly, who's your favorite pony and why?
Applejack always reminds me of like my cousins. Like they're from the Midwest. They're just like hardy, sarcastic, like workaday type folks. So I always say Applejack, and I guess I'm gonna stick with Applejack.
Okay. And do you have a pony you like the least? Who's your worst pony?
I mean, if I was a pony myself, I don't think I could handle Pinkie Pie. That seems like a lot. Like I'm sort of calm. I mean, I wouldn't, have a problem with her. I would just be like, look, can we not invite her to dinner this time? It's always about her. It's the whole thing. So maybe, but I don't have, anything against her. Definitely like her on the show, but if I had to hang out with her, I couldn't. I don't think I could hang.
Okay. What is your favorite issue to work on? To draw.
Nightmare Nights was fun. There was one that had like a lot of, actually like Nightmare Nights number 3 or 4 had like a lot of splash pages and action, sort of like a big,
really dynamic stuff.
Yeah, a big dynamic one. There was an issue of Legends of Magic that was like that too, where it was like it all sort of leads up to this, and there's going to be like big, powerful stuff happening. I think that was like the last issue or the second to last issue of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I like it when big stuff happens. But also like there was an issue where Pinkie Pie becomes like the Princess of Chaos. She gets sucked into Discord dimension and then ends up taking over because she's Pinkie Pie. And that was pretty fun too, just because like got to do all this wacky Discord dimension stuff. Just like fish that were melting and like a hot air balloon that's like a Pinkie Pie head that Pinkie Pie is floating in. Just like real fun visuals. That was a lot of fun to do.
Okay, because this is horse news, we have to ask this question. You obviously don't have to answer it. What would you say is the cringiest thing you've experienced in the fandom so far? The cringiest thing you've seen?
I mean, it's just so much. Most of it has been on horse news, I must say. Like, you guys do a pretty good job of covering that. I mean, the worst thing I've ever seen in my life is that baby food jar with that pony in it.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything ever being worse than that.
Yeah.
Has there been anything worse than that?
No.
I'm not up to date on my horse news. I dip in, but
yeah, but apart from that, not much.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, until somebody is an actual murderer, I think that's going to be the worst thing that ever happened. Congrats to that guy and his radiator.
Okay, so final question. What would you say the funniest thing you've seen in the fandom is so far?
The funniest thing?
The funniest thing and your favorite memory. They may overlap, I don't know.
We laugh a lot at these things, but I couldn't really, 6 months later tell you what the hell we were laughing about. My favorite thing, I just like seeing like bronies sort of find their place, find their people. We went to a brony wedding at BronyCon this year. It's like these people met at BronyCon, found each other, and got married at BronyCon. Incredible. I guess that's kind of a sentimental answer, but I'm old now. I don't have.
Sentimental's good.
Not as snarky as I used to be.
Sentimental's good.
Good.
So what are you working on there? Can we see?
This is a commission. It's there's like this gate in Nightmare Nights that you have to be evil to get through, and so Starlight's trying to get through it, but she's not evil enough to be pissed about it.
Okay, so final question. Where do you see yourself in a couple of years in the fandom? You still see yourself working for ADW and the comics?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as long as the comics go on, I'm happy to work on them. Like, I feel like I get better at them as I go along. I think when I started off, I was a little rough, and so, over the course of like 6 or 7 years now, like, I've sort of gotten my act together, and so I have it streamlined, and I just can sort of like knock out a pony issue and feel good about it.
Yeah.
Still get to do new stuff and try new things.
How long does it take to do one issue?
Like 3.5, 4 weeks. 4 weeks is beautiful. 3.5 is sort of like pushing it. I've done them in like 11, 12 days before, and it's just like unholy nightmare.
And that's working 8-hour days, 10-hour days?
Yeah, like 16-hour days.
Jeez.
Yeah, it gets pretty wild. I have to tell my wife, like, hey, I'm gonna not be around until this thing's done. I feel real bad about it.
Okay, with the obviously, as you know, there's been talk of G5 possibly coming in the next couple of years. Do you think if there's still a comic tie-in, you'd want to work on that?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, I've talked to the IDW folks about it, and they know that just like whatever happens, I'm happy to come along and do it. It's sort of like my steady day job. I draw ponies, and then I'm sort of working on my own stuff. The energy that I used to put into trying to find work, I don't have to worry about it anymore because I've got ponies and this stuff. And so now I'm working on like creator-owned stuff and making my own stuff. So my day job is doing ponies, and then my side job is like me trying to get my own stuff on.
If it does go, if the G5 comics do go to another publisher, will you ask them if you can draw on them?
Maybe. I mean, I imagine. I would be surprised if it did. But
Yeah, because IDW.
yeah, they're pretty good with Hasbro right now, but you never know. Yeah, I certainly would. I mean, I've done stuff for IDW, and I do stuff for the RPG game. That's really River Horse there in Australia.
Yes.
And then I've done some stuff for Little Brown Hachette. They do like the books and stuff, so I've done like some novel covers for them. I did children's work for them last year. So I feel like I could find out wherever they're going and go over there and still do ponies, I imagine. But who knows? I mean, if it didn't pay as well, I don't know that I'd want to. I don't want to take a pay cut because they started doing business somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll stick around and do G5. And I've always hoped that, like if they wrap up G4, I thought it would be cool, like Buffy in the comics just did like the next season of Buffy in comic books. So I always think like, well, if they wrap up the ponies, why don't they just do the next season?
That'd be
season 10 or whatever of ponies and comics. That'd be fun.
Anyway, this is up. We have to go. Is there any last parting words you want to say?
I just want to talk about. Looking at you, I just noticed how horrifying the headboard of my hotel room bed is. What is that? I slept in that.
God.
Look at this disgusting, moldy nightmare.
Oh, Jesus.
Ugh. What is it? Am I gonna get a disease?
I think whatever got disease already died.
Oh, here's your horse news.
Yes.
Gross.
Absolutely disgusting. Well, we specialize in that. We are horse news.
What a mess.
Yep. Disgusting and messy. That's what we are at horse news.
Oh. Well, I'm glad to bring you more of that horse news content.
Anyway. That's the usual reaction to what I write. And that's my reaction to what I write. I wrote this. How drunk was I? Anyway, this is Foal for Horse News on Friday the 8th of February 2019 at the first ever HarmonyCon. This is Tony Fleecs. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, good talking to you.
Nice to meet you, man.